That's looking really good. Hey, welcome to another episode of Cooking in the Raw. I'm just checking out my quinoa here. You know, this is going to be an extra special dish today, working with vegetables again. We'll set that off to the side, let it cool. Hey, I'm Marshall B, aka Shell, your host of Cooking in the Raw. You thought you were going to miss out on that, huh? For those who are new to watching the show, I want to say hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing some dishes for fall. We're coming to the end of the summer here, which I love that because this is where you start getting in all your There's my squirrel friend out there. Hey, Winston, how you doing? Y'all have squirrels running around. They're getting all their... He stopped and he looked. That's awesome. Next time, we need to get a view of that on the camera. That's my man Winston out there, you know, walking across the balcony saying, hey, Shell, you filming again tonight? I'm doing my thing, Winston. We'll hook up later. So, end of the summer, coming into fall, we start taking advantage of all the vegetables that decide to ripen at the end of the summer. So that's tomatoes, peppers, baby bells, hot peppers, you know, everything's doing their thing, sweet peppers. So I'm going to do what I call here stuffed tomatoes. I mean, this is all about tomatoes. At the end of the season, there's so many tomatoes, you don't know what to do with them. So I'm going to make all sorts of tomato dishes as we close out the season and begin another one. So I have one tomato already started that's hollowed out. You know, I'm going to go through those steps with you. Thin slice off the bottom so it remains steady. Now, instead of roasting these tomatoes in the oven, that's for another show. Maybe it's for a live show we'll do that one for. But I'm going to do this first attempt. This is what makes it raw. I'm going to do it on top of the stove, inside the pot. Now, I had success when I did the mushrooms that way. So we'll see what happens with the tomatoes. So I'm going to begin taking out the stem end of the tomatoes. And you can see how that whole process went down. Now, I saved my tomato scraps because, I mean, that's tomato goodness right there, you know. So I'm going to do something with that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see another show. Okay, I'm going to eat that later. So we take a little slice off the top, like so. Put that inside. Another slice off the top. Inside the tomato container. And we'll do one more here. How many is that? 3? Oh, that's 4. Alright. Now, just a little slice. And try not to cut too far in, because again, you want to keep that bottom solid. And also want to make it too thin. So we take just a little bit off the top. And the reason why we're doing this is just to make sure that the tomato is steady. But it doesn't weeble wobble. What's that thing go? Weeble wobble, but you don't fall down. Well, in this case, we don't want it to fall down at all. There ain't no joke in that. So a little bit off of the bottom. Boom, save the scrap. One more here. Now get our spoon and we're simply just hollow this out. Now meaty tomato works pretty nice. Tomatoes nice and ripe. You don't want to go too ripe, you know. You want a little bit of resistance here in tomato. If it's too ripe, then it's just going to fall apart as it begins to cook. So we're going to dry cook this in the pot and see if we can get all this going towards the end of the show. Nice little hollow. Take out the seeds. And if you get some seeds left in, that's okay. There you go. There's 2. Hollow out another one. Oh man, this just smells so good. You know, I can't wait until they figure out putting smells on TV. Smell-o-vision, that's the future. You know, we gotta work on figuring out how to create that. Smell-o-vision. Alright, now I guess what I can do is package some smells in a bag or in a jar. Seal a jar and send it out to people so you can smell when I'm cooking. That's 2 going down, and then one more. Very easy. I mean, cooking in the raw, again, is about simple, easy, quick cooking dishes. You know, things you can do for dinner, for one, for multiple people, or just little light snacks for an impromptu party. Simple and quick. That's what it's about here. And also fresh. I like to cook seasonally, you know what I mean? So, even though we're at the end of the season in summer, I'm still going to use some tomatoes as we go through the season because I already started packing my store up for tomatoes. So I freeze my tomatoes instead of canning. You know, I find that I take some, I freeze them whole, I take others, I chop them up and I freeze them. So this is all good for a sauce later. So now we got this, and I'm going to get some salt and pepper, very light. very light salt and pepper. Always salt and pepper your ingredients before you begin to do this thing. This is going to give us a nice little juicing. A couple of grinds of pepper. Alright, let's get our pot started here. Alright, so we're going to bring these over to the stove. We're going to get our pot ready here. Get some tongs here so I can work with those. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So we won't get any quick sticking here. Just a little bit. Because we want to kind of, you know, saute slash roast. So we want that to come up to here. If we get that nice and hot, let's do this thing. I'll check in on my quinoa again. Wow, that's going to be nice. Really, really nice here. Oh yeah. Everybody's happy. Nice and fluffy. I mean, so what we're going to have here, we're going to have a stuffing of the quinoa. That's going to be almost like our protein. And then we have our vegetable here. We're going to stuff that, you know, with the quinoa and some other vegetables. So while that's coming up to heat, we'll let that do its thing. I'm going to go back over here and start chopping up some vegetables. We'll go back over there in a minute. Now, here's the fun part about cooking in the raw. This is what makes this show really raw. If it happens here, it's going to happen live. So I have to utilize my senses and keep track that behind me, I have something on the burner, and it's an electric burner. Once it goes hot, it goes hot. It goes hot quick. So I have to be careful that I don't allow that to burn while I'm over here chopping these ingredients. So I'm counting on you to yell it out real loud. Say, shell, 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 there's smoke, there's smoke. So that every now and then, you know, we'd have that camera turn over and take a look at that pot so you can let me know. Alright, so I'm going to start by dicing up some onions. Now I don't want the ingredients that's going to go in for the flavor to be that much bigger than the quinoa. So I'm going to take off a few little slices here of the onion. Some of the red onion, white onion, some garlic. Very simple ingredients. A lot of it's going to come through spices. So boom, we go with this here. Very simple chop, chop, chop. Look how easy that was, how quick. You know? Nice and easy, nice and even, nice and simple, and quick cooking. Done. Sound effects. So how are we looking over there in the pot? Look behind me. Alright, we got smoke. Let's go back over here. We got smoke now. Turn that down, and let's get our tomatoes in. Alright, there's 1, 3, 4. We got the fire down. We're going to put in just a little bit more olive oil. Okay. Now we're going to close that up. Now normally I would roast these in the oven, but because of time I want to do these right on top of the stove and let them just slowly cook, slowly roast down. Now we go back and we start chopping our ingredients here. Let's get these inside of our bowl here. So that's our red onion to begin with. And then we'll begin to chop. Now just because it's in the pot doesn't mean I can just say forget about it. So I need to pay attention to the sounds it's making. That's that sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. If that sizzle sounds like it's a wild thing, then I need to get back over there and check it out. So I'm going to throw in some white onion in that mix. Let me look back over my shoulder. Lift off the lid away from you. Not too bad. Not too bad. Make sure that's not sticking. Okay, looking good. Now we come back over here and let's chop up some white onion to go in here. Now different onions are going to give you different flavors. You know, some sweet, some a little more pungent than others. So we're going to have 2 different onions here going in this dish. This is going to give us entirely different flavors. Chop, chop, chop. That's 1. So just a half onion. I mean, again, the dish isn't about the onion. It's all about all the ingredients coming together inside the dish. And of course, this is vegetarian, but you can easily stuff these tomatoes with some type of meat, a meat of your choosing. If I had to do meat, I think I would do ground turkey. Ground turkey and spice it up with some of those secret spices that I have. and I think that'll make a great addition to this. But I'm gonna go vegetarian with this dish. Just throw the onions in because it's all gonna go together. It's all gonna get sauteed in flavor. We got a lot of quinoa, so we're gonna have our protein and our veg all in once. Nice vegetarian indoor / vegan dish. I'm gonna check on my tomatoes again. You keep an eye on this for me. Make sure it doesn't run away. Checking on the tomatoes. So far, so good. You can hear that sizzle over there, can't you?
Yep.
Baby. Alright, so far so good on tomatoes. Let's close that up. Then we come back and we're going to chop up some garlic to go in here. You know, my favorite 3 ingredients for flavoring a dish. Garlic, onion, garlic, onion. Sometimes I use like 3 or 4 different types of onion to go inside of a dish. Again, they all add an entirely different flavor dimension to the dish. Chop, chop, chop. Let's get this out of the way. Now, here's a trick I'm going to give you. When I'm cooking with garlic, and I'm going to saute it all, and to prevent my garlic from burning, I add my garlic in with my onion. You know, because the onion is going to sweat and release some of its own juices, so when the garlic gets in or the garlic hits the oil, it's not going to burn. Now, it works for me. So that takes practice because it's almost like a timing thing, you know, when you do that. In essence, you can't have the garlic on the bottom of the pan. So the garlic's going to go in right on top of the onion after I put the onion in. Because I'm not looking for a roasted garlic, but I'm looking for a cooked garlic. I want to cook off some of that raw taste that you get. So that's going to be enough there. And if you wanted to cook and almost melt, something else I like to do is give it a nice little smash. You know, I got it chopped up, so we'll smash it. So release some oils here. So then that's going to cook up really nice. Really nice, almost like melt in the mouth kind of nice. Alright, so that's that. Get that all together and ready. Then the last thing we're going to put in the dish is going to be onions. Not onions, but chili pepper. You know, again, all these ingredients come fresh from a garden. I belong to a CSA locally. And then I'm going to put in some spinach. So let's start getting these ingredients sauteed. We're going to move over here. Get our pot hot and ready to go. Add some oil. So a quick saute. I'm going to saute the aromatics, I like to call them, my garlic, my onion. Throw in some of my pepper. Then I'm going to throw in the quinoa and get that sauteed up and ready to stuff. So that's going to heat up, and I'll get the rest of the ingredients and move them over. And I'll check in on those tomatoes really quick. So while that's doing this thing, I'm going to do a quick chiffonade on the spinach here. Everything's looking good across the way. I'm listening, I'm happy with what I hear over there. So I'm going to do a quick chiffonade. I don't have to mince this because as it cooks, it's going to begin to break down. So a quick chiffonade will be fine. This is going to add a little bit of color and another dimension of flavor to the dish. In other words, keeping all of my ingredients tight and together in one location so that when I begin to start dumping, it's like dump, dump, dump. And everybody's ready to go. The reason I'm doing it last because messing with the chili and the seeds, you have to be careful that you don't accidentally rub your eye. You know, so I'm going to do that last and know from there it's going to go straight into the pot. There's my onion going in. Alright, let's get that going. Let's get a little spatula here. Get that going. I'm going to check in on my tomatoes, making sure they're still nice and soft here. Looking good, looking good. So I'm going to turn the fire off of that, you know, because I wanted to cook down even more and get too soft. Alright, we got nice water in there. Let's dump out some of that. Okay, so we'll let that continue to chill while the onions are doing their thing. So we're going to cook the onions until you begin to smell them. It'll become nice and soft here on the onions. Now, so you can see the juice. You have the oil and you have the juices of the onion there. It's not, the fire's not too high because we're just trying to sweat the onions. You know, sweat in this case means release its natural juices, not sweat as in bother. Alright, that's your slang for the day. So we're not trying to sweat the onions. Now I'm going to take my garlic now and throw it in right on top of that. There's my garlic. And you see, as I said, Everything is just coming together. It's not burning the garlic. You can smell the garlic. You can smell the onions. We're not going so much for color here. We're just simply going for flavor. This is like our foundation, our base. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to crank up the fire just a little bit, add just a little bit more oil. Again, when here on Cooking Raw, we believe in you can always take the oil out. You can always add more oil, I should say, but you can't take it out. So I always go a little at a time. I'm going to add in now some quinoa. We're going to saute that up. So this is a tricolor quinoa. We have red, we have white. Actually, this is maybe it's a two-color, red and white quinoa. A little bit of that. Get that mixed in. Now turn our fire back down. Now once you get the saute going, that's when you want to turn your fire back down. Again, this is electric, it's not gas, so it works a little bit different. Nice little toss, get everything tossed in. Now I didn't add any of my salt, any of my pepper yet. Alright, I'm trying to let my burner cool down, but I don't want it to cool down too much. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this. Just a wee bit more oil. Alright, now I'm going to put in a little salt. Okay, because I didn't cook the quinoa in any salt. Because I want to control the dish. So a couple of grinds of black pepper. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the Mad Spice Lab. I'm going to throw in a little bit of 00. Alright, add a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth of flavor. Not a lot. Okay, boom, 00. Let's get that stirred through. Oh, you can smell that. As soon as you add that 00, it's like, oh my God, that's a whole different dish there. Okay, nice little slight reddish color going on there. So we have that going. We're going to add in just a little bit more of the quinoa. Make sure you have enough for the stuffing. Okay, I'm adding more so I can eat a little bit of this by itself. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, that's the dish all in its own right there. So since you added more quinoa, we add a little bit more salt, balance out our flavors. Anytime you add something that had no flavor, you need to balance out your flavors. A little bit more of the 00. Okay, that takes care of that. A nice little toss through. Alright, let's kick our fire up. A little bit more oil, because now I'm going to add in my spinach. I want to do that till wilted. So I put the spinach in right now. There's the spinach. And then, let's turn that down just a wee bit. And then I'm going to work with a little bit of this hot pepper. Now I'm going to have to go straight through on this. I'm going to cut off the end while I have very little seeds. Slice that through. Perfect, perfect. Nice. So I'll take now my chef knife. So towards the bottom of the pepper, there's very little seeds. You know, so I don't have to worry about too much heat, because I do have some heat in the 00. And it's going to add, you know, just another depth of flavor to it. A little bit of heat, a little bit of sweet from the pepper. There we go there. Let's put in our pepper. Voila. Get that stirred through. Look at that. Simple colors, simple flavors. Now again, I said you can add meat to this, but we're going vegan today. You can add, make your own little sauce to go on there. I don't know what we're going to put on the top of this as a sauce. Alright, let's turn this off. And let's give it a taste. Make sure all of our flavors are okay. Oh yeah, nice, perfect. Alright, let's remove this. Take this off the fire. Bring this a little closer. Oh, that tastes good. Put our lid back over here. Now, nice simple simmer here. Gotta keep my stove nice and white. So nice little simmer. Now we stuff. Okay, bring this a little bit closer. Now we stuff. Now if this was in the oven, we would stuff these, let them cool, stuff them, and then stick them right back in the oven. You can top this with some cheese if you like. I mean, so many different things that you can do with a dish like this. Oh, doesn't that just look great? Very healthy, very good for you. I mean, stuff it real good because this is your meal. This is your dish here. So don't be afraid to get that stuffing in there. Just be gentle, be careful that you don't break the tomato because the tomato is very soft right now. Okay? Now, as I said, I have a little bit left over. Woo, baby, for myself. That's hot. All right. So now we'll cover this, let that heat while I make some room for us to plate. I'm going to plate right there, right next to the pot here. It makes it easier. So we're going to make some room so we can plate the dish. We're going to switch out. Alright, here goes nothing. Let's use a little spatula. Alright. Here. Oh, that's going to be good eating right there. So I got my next dish sitting right there off to the side. Cover that, keep it hot, off. And now, we take a little, bring it closer, and we plate. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Okay? We'll leave that like so. Clean up our area there. And now a drizzle. You know, you can take it to another level. A nice little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Alright? And why not do some of the aged balsamic vinegar? But I'm not going to put it on the dish. It's going to go not on the tomatoes itself. It's going to go on the dish. Okay? Just on the dish. So it gives you a nice little simple dressing. And there is your dish. I call this stovetop roasted tomato stuffed with quinoa and sauteed vegetables. So to find out more, or to cook along with me or watch more of my videos, you can find me on YouTube, and that's Cooking in the Raw. To keep in contact with me, you can go to the website cookingintheraw.net, and be sure to connect with me on Facebook. That's Cooking in the Raw Magazine. So I'm going to take a taste of this and see what we got. Alright. Little fork, little knife. My mouth is watering, so here we go for our taste. I'll take it off the small one here. Oh yeah, nice, nice, nice. Very, very simple. Alright, here goes nothing. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to enjoy this dish. Again, I'll see you next time when we cook together on Cooking the Raw. Bye now.